Okay, so we're going to compare some functions. Okay, remember that functions can be in a table, a graph, or equations or words. Table, graph, equations, or words. We've dealt with them in all of these different forms before, but we haven't necessarily compared them. So they can be compared by increasing or decreasing, faster rate, which one has the greater value. So we're going to look at these two. The first function right here, let's look at it. Let's look at the slope on this one. So this one up by 4, up by 4, up by 4. Okay, I'm just making sure that it's linear. Up by 1, up by 1, up by 1. So the slope on this is equal to 4 over 1, which is 4. Okay. And the y-intercept, y equals mx plus b. Okay. Actually, I don't think we need that for right now. Okay. Let's just look at the slope for right now. And over here, let's look at this slope. This went up 1. It went over 2. So the slope on this one is going to be 1/2. So which one has the greater rate of change? Okay, so this very first one has the greater rate of change. Okay, so come over here. The function m equals 140h. I wish they had not used m. M is talking about miles and h is talking about hours. It is not talking about slope. This right here is not slope. Okay, I apologize. Do not know why they are using m. Okay, so our slope, however, our slope is this number right here. Okay, that is our slope. Is the distance traveled by the first Japanese high-speed train. The distance traveled by a high-speed train operating in China is shown at on the table. So I'm going to look from here to here. So yes, it went up positive, and it went up by 217. Oh, look at that. And where's the color? There we go. This one up by 1. So the slope of this one is equal to 217. Okay, so at 0 hours, no distance has been traveled or covered. So the initial value for each of the functions, both of them, is going to be 0. The rate of the change for the Japanese train, that's this one up here. The slope is in front of the h. And that was, I didn't look, 140 miles per hour. The rate of the change for the Chinese was in the table, was 217. So the initial values are the same, but the rate of change for the Chinese train is greater than the rate of change for the Japanese train. Determine how much farther the Chinese train will travel than the Japanese train. Find the distance of the Japanese train by substituting 5. So up here, they gave us the equation m equals 140h. That's where this came in right here. It wants 5 hours, so you plug in the 5 hours and you get 700. Okay, if you do that.
Annie Gazelle, please report to attendance. Annie Gazelle, please report to attendance.
Sorry about that. Then if I was doing it for the high-speed train, you could add 217 each time. and get 1,085. Okay, so here it is for the Chinese train. Here it is for the Japanese train. If we subtract those numbers, if we subtract them, we'll find that it's 385 miles difference. So after 5 hours, the Chinese train will be 385 miles farther, than the Japanese train. So suppose you want to decide which movie streaming service you should join. Company A charges $1.50 per movie with a startup fee of $5. The cost to stream the movies for Company B is shown in the table. So we're going to start with Company A. We're going to look at this. Remember that when we have per, that's a good indication that that is going to be our slope. So our slope is going to be 1.5x or 150x. Startup fee, that's an initial fee. That is 5. Okay, over here, oh, I should change colors. Company B, okay, oh, I should have, whatever. I add 4 here. I add 2 here. So that is going to get me a slope for this one of 2. But I need the y-intercept. So remember, y equals mx plus b. So I'm going to plug in. I'm going to use, which point am I going to use? I'm just going to use this point right here. So I'm going to take the y, which is 8, the m, which is 2, the x, which is 2, the b plus b. So 8 equals 4 plus b. So I subtract 4, and I get 4 is equal to my b value. So my initial rate is $4 for this one. So my equation for that one would be 2x plus 4. Now, how much more will Company B cost than Company A if 15 movies are rented in 1 month? So 15, I'm going to replace x with 15. So I didn't mean to do that. Y equals 1.5. We're going to multiply it by 15 plus 5. So y equals 2250 plus 5. So that'll get me $27.50. Over here, if I replace x with 15, I will get 30 plus 4, which is $34. So I'm going to subtract them. I'm going to take $34 and I'm going to subtract $27.50. Okay, so that's a 0, that's a 3, that's a 5. So it is $6.50 more for Company B. Okay, let's look at this next one. Angela and Benjamin each have a monthly cell phone bill. Angela's monthly cell phone bill costs 15 cents per minute plus an initial fee. Ooh, initial fee per. Benjamin's monthly cost is shown in the graph. Compare the functions, initial values, and rates of change.
Thomas, if available, please come to D8. Thomas, if available, please come to D8 or call room D8.
Again, sorry. Compare the functions' initial values and rate of change, then determine the monthly cost for Angela and Benjamin's for 200 minutes. So starting off, we need the initial values. So for Angela, okay, remember Angela's right here. Her initial fee is $49. What is the initial fee for Benjamin? That's right here, so that's $60. So Benjamin has the greater initial cost. What's the rate of change for Angela's bill? If I look up here, okay, that's 15 cents. If I look for Benjamin, I have to actually find that. So, guys, we don't go up 1. We actually go up from 60 to 70, so that's up 10. And then we come over here, and the x value is 120, so 120. So my slope is 10 over 120, which is 1 over 12. And you put that in the calculator. Why did they do this to me? It's 1/12 or 0.8. Nope, try that again. This is why I don't like to make it into a decimal, because it's a repeating decimal. Okay, determine the monthly cost for Angela at 200 minutes. So if I plug it in here, 0.15 times 200 plus 49 equals, that would be 79. 200 minutes over here, well, look at this. I don't even have to figure it out. It already has it for me. This is the number of minutes, and this is the total cost. So it already tells you what the total cost is. Okay, so it's $1 more for Benjamin. Okay, so let's look here. It says, you and your friends want to go on a canoe trip. River Run Canoes charges an initial fee of $10 plus $10 per hour. The cost for Clearwater Canoes is represented in the graph. Okay, so if I'm looking at, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do it 2 different colors. Okay, so this is going to be y equals 10x plus 10. And I'll do this one over here with y equals, well, first let's find the slope. So it goes up 4. It goes across 2. So that's 2. X plus the initial value is 16. Okay, which company has the greater initial value and which company has the greater rate of change? Greater initial value is Clearwater Canoes. I should put the greater rate of change is River Run Canoes. Okay, determine the cost for each company if you want to canoe for 4 hours. So 4 hours. So for River, it's 10 times 4 plus 10. So that's 40 plus 10. So it would be $50. If I look here at 4 hours is right here. So 424. Go. Okay. So it's y equals $24. Okay. So Clearwater Canoes is cheaper. Okay, so Aisha is researching 3 different online book subscription companies. The cost Y of each subscription is a linear function of the number of books downloaded, X. The prices for 3 different subscription companies are shown. Aisha plans to download 10 books and wants to spend the lesser amount. From which company should she purchase the subscription? Okay, so we need to find this right here. So this is going to be $23.75 minus 18. That would be $5.75. And that's over 1. So this one is y equals 575x plus 18 because this is across from 0. Then this one over here, this goes up 15. It goes over 2. So we would have 15 over 2. So that's going to be 7.5 because we want decimal on this because we're talking about money. And so this is 7.5x because it goes through 0, 0. Okay. So we now have 3 equations. And we want to know from which plan should she purchase a subscription if she wants to down 10 books. She wants to spend the lesser amount. So if I was to plug in 10 right here, y equals 4.5 times 10 plus 20. That would get me 45 plus 20, which is $65. So for the bookshelf, she would get, that would be $65. Here, if I plugged it in, and I plugged in 10, I would get $57.50 plus 18. So that would get me, let's see, $75.50. $75.50. And this one, I would replace the X with 10. And I would get $75. So I have $75, I have $75.50, and I have $65. So which one should she pick? She should pick the bookshelf because it is the cheapest of the 3.